this month our theme has been journey. And the thing is that I have to learn to trust that journey even when I don't understand why things are showing up in my life when they do. It's always, whatever is showing up on that journey is always for my higher good. So a few weeks ago I got an email saying, hey, I just returned from studying in India for a month, and I'd like to come to your church and teach yoga. I said, come on in and talk to me. Keith is sitting right there. And as we chatted for probably an hour or more, right, he said something that really caught my attention. And Heidi was sitting there, and I went, write that down. I know that's my next talk. And he said, I don't let anyone yuck my yum. I loved it. But I hadn't heard that expression before. And Kayla, my granddaughter, who's back there at the sound booth, goes to Edgewood, and I said, have you heard that? And she thought for a minute. She said, you know, I think I did hear someone say that, and I didn't quite know what it meant. Well, it's the title of a children's book. And it's a book that was written to encourage kids to like what they like, even if their friends look at it and go, ooh, that's gross. Have you ever sat down to eat something you really like, and someone next to you goes, yuck? Are you going to really eat that? So what's your favorite pizza topping? Yell it out. Pepperoni.
Mushrooms.
Mushrooms. Escargot, right? Oh, yuck, right? And somebody else likes the same thing I do. Anchovies. How many yucks did we get on that, right? No, somebody else likes it. But just because I like it and you don't, doesn't mean there's something wrong with it. I think kale's one of the best things we ever grew. A lot of you might think it's really disgusting. But this applies, this is our taste. This is what I like, this is what you like. We're different, we have different opinions. So we can apply this to books, to movies, to art, to music, to sports teams, to politics, right? We can apply it to everything. I remember when I was little, it wasn't don't yuck my yum, it was don't rain on my parade. How many remember that one? Don't rain on my parade, right? Yeah, don't dump on what's bringing me joy.
Love the picture.
I know, I know. I don't have to like someone else's yum, but I don't have to criticize it either. We're different. We're unique. We all have different likes and different yucks. So for an example, say your friend is eating a peanut butter and pickle sandwich. I mean, I had a friend in grammar school that did peanut butter and relish and mustard or something like that. But instead of yucking on it, and it can be anything, right? I've never tried that. What do you like about it? I've never tried that. What do you like about it? And the person says, I really like the salty-sour combination. It reminds me of some Asian foods. And then I go, wow, I really like that salty-sour combination in Asian foods. I know a great Thai restaurant. You want to go get lunch sometime. Do you see how differences don't have to tear us apart but can bring us together? If someone's enjoying something, and I yuck on it, and I say it's gross, I'm saying, you're different. I'm better than you. You need to be like me. So I want you to think for a minute. You can start with your family. How do you wish someone in your family were different? You don't have to answer, just think about it. Maybe you wish they didn't leave the dishes in the sink or their clothes on the floor, and maybe they wished you weren't so fussy, right? It happens in our families. It can happen at work. It happens with the other drivers, doesn't it? In politics, in world leaders. We are products of our upbringing and our experiences. So we have different tastes, we have different opinions. And the world would be really dull if we were all the same, right? Look at this room. Every single one of us is unique, is different. Diversity is what makes this world wonderful. As ministers, we have to take a class every year, one in diversity and one in ethics. We have to do that. And look at our schools today. Look at the diversity in the schools. Kids from different ethnic, socioeconomic groups, different faiths, different cultures. So you might sit in a school today and one kid may pull out falafel and hummus, the kid next to him peanut butter and jelly, maybe a tamale, a slice of pizza, right? Sit in a school where kids bring their lunches and look at all the different foods today. Last Sunday, Deanne spoke, and she gave us a Joseph Campbell quote. The privilege of a lifetime is being who you are. The privilege of your lifetime is being who you are. When I allow someone else to yuck my yum, I try to protect myself. I put up barriers. I pull back. And I allow the fear of being different, of not being good enough, to keep me from being who I really am. I sit down when it's my turn to stand up. I try to be what someone else wants me to be, tells me to be, expects me to be. And I keep the world from the gift only I can bring to it. My uniqueness, my strength, my truth. Each of us has an open, come as you are invitation. We're born with it. Come as we are. For this life's journey, I get to be me. There's an RSVP there right in front of you, and all you have to do is open it. All you have to do is say yes. Each time I allow someone to yuck on my yum, I misuse my God-given powers of who I was born to be, my authentic self. And I default the privilege to live my life's journey as who and what I truly am, a child of God. Neuropsychologist Dr. Mario Martinez is the author of the book, Mind-Body Code. And he writes in his book that the common denominator among people who live beyond 100 years is they're not afraid to risk being themselves. Remember that poem, when I'm old, I'll wear purple with a red hat? Yeah. Our soul's deepest yearning is to express itself. Not show up the way somebody else wants me to show up, act the way someone else wants me to act, be the way someone else wants me to be. My soul wants to express itself as me. When I allow my authentic self to emerge, I transcend conditioning of the ego. And I live according to my highest truth. Our world has become so small because of social media, hasn't it? We can connect with people all around the world, different races, cultures, backgrounds, languages, belief systems. So we know what's going on everywhere. It's a wonderful thing. But there are some who see the differences in people throughout the world and judge them. They see themselves as better than. And they use the social media as a platform to join forces with or persuade others to do what they think is right. And they shout their yucks across the airways. Don't eat like that. Don't parent like that. Don't dress like that. Don't vote like that. Don't love like that. Don't believe like that. Don't pray like that. And what happens? Mass shootings like New Zealand, right? This past week, a teen who survived the Parkland shooting in Florida committed suicide. She was afraid to sit in her college classroom. She had PTSD, survivor's guilt, from going through that. My granddaughter Kayla took her to school a few weeks ago. She couldn't get in. There was a lockdown. There was a bomb threat. That's the second time in, what, a year, I think. In 2018, there have been 340 mass shootings in the U.S. When I yuck on someone else's yum, I'm creating a consciousness that allows these things to grow. Shakespeare said, there is nothing either good or bad. There is nothing either good or bad, but my thinking makes it so. The more divided we become in our thinking, the harder it is to find similarities. What if there were no lines? What if there were no countries? What if there was nothing to kill or die for? Can you imagine all the people living life in peace?
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join
that was written 48 years ago. And so we invite you to be dreamers with us, to hold this vision of a world of peace. The privilege of a lifetime is being who you are and letting others be who they are. This week and from now on, don't let anyone yuck on your yum, and don't yuck on theirs. God bless you.